Hello everyone. It's very easy to be in a state of anxiety or fear or worry or just plain freaking out as we read the news and day after day hear more about this global pandemic of which we are all involved in some way or another. But from a meditative point of view, from a harmonic self point of view, there's a little bit of good news in this, in terms of if we're aware that we're freaking out, or if we're aware that we have anxiety, it means that we're more than our freaking out, and we're more than our anxiety. And you may say, well, it's my mind that's aware of those things. And again, we could look at that as being, well, something is aware of your mind being aware of that. So as we go back, we find that there's something that's aware. And those of you who are watching this undoubtedly are in that place of awareness. For other people, if they're in their anxiety, there is none of that awareness. And that's a different state and needs a different kind of intervention. But for those of us who are aware that there's anxiety, we can use that awareness to kind of tune and, in a way, dial in to another channel. So we'll do an awareness now, or we'll do a meditation now that will kind of take you into that different level of attunement, so to speak. That in the harmonic self, we are actually tuning instruments. We are a spiritual instrument through which spirit, or the wind from heaven, blows its song of love. So just allow yourself now to bring your attention to the rising and the falling of your breath. And you can do this with your eyes closed. There's no forcing. This is something you're doing every moment of your life. Just the rising and the falling of your breath. Nothing to do. This do-nothing state is a very Taoist principle of wu-wei, non-forcing, non-action. We're finding ourselves just more in a state of being, not doing anything, and yet the breath is going through us. Now we can enhance this experience by having the idea that the breath isn't something that we take, it's something that we receive. And this is a bit of a game changer for us, because we can let go of any need to grasp or grab or force or hold on, and instead we can release, unwind, empty, open. And now we can go even deeper by doing absolutely nothing at all except being still and waiting. And perhaps you reach that almost magical moment where you realize that you're not breathing, you're being breathed. Now, if I were to ask you to listen to the classical music playing in your room right now, you may say, I'm not hearing any classical music playing, or there's none playing. And I would say, well, really listen carefully, because the music is playing right here, right now. And if I were to bring a radio into your room and dial in the classical music station, the room would be filled with classical music. Now, the interesting thing is that the music did not come in with the radio. The radio was just a tuning instrument. And this is the major point I want to make today, that we human beings are tuning instruments. And we have the capacity to tune into any frequency, any vibration, any level of consciousness. I call it tuning awareness. So if we wanted to raise the vibration around us, we wouldn't need to bring anything from outside of our space into it. We would merely dial in the higher vibration from the potential that is already here now. So let's do that. And you've heard me do this in all of our sound meditations. Just now we ask for the highest and purest light from the highest and purest source to surround and fill each one of us and the space that we're in right now for the highest good. Perhaps you can feel, as I did just then, a palpable shift in the energy in and around you. From all of the possibilities available to us, we selected, we dialed in, we called ourselves forward into a sacredness, a holiness, a sacred light, a Holy Spirit, if you will, that now pervades the space we're in and ourselves. So let's just go back to our breath. And this time, be aware that we're being breathed, but that as we breathe, or as we're being breathed, as we're receiving the breath, we're receiving light, the light that pervades the space that we're in. And allow that light to pervade all of your being on every level for your highest good with each breath. We'll do this for a few moments in silence, and then if you want to continue with this meditation, you can do so on your own.